In this module, I will review how to find relevant literature for your report and how to take notes. First, let's discuss how to locate relevant literature. But what do I mean by the literature? So when you search for literature, you're looking for published work on a particular topic. It's important that the works are relevant to your topic within the social sciences discipline, and especially sociology. And if they're books, that they come from academic presses, and if they're articles, that they are peer-reviewed. So you might have heard that term before, peer-reviewed or scholarly articles. Both peer-reviewed and scholarly articles, what they mean, it's a system in which researchers' reports are evaluated by fellow academics and researchers. So if you find a peer-reviewed or scholarly article, you know that this research has been vetted by other experts. All the articles for this class must be peer-reviewed, and I offer tips in the handout in this module on how to ensure your articles are peer-reviewed. One of your readings for this week was in Chapter 4. Box 4.1 offers tips on how to search the literature, so be sure to use that as you complete this week's assignment. Bloomfield College students have access to a number of databases on our library homepage. Here's a link that will take you directly to those databases. I recommend using Academic Search Complete, ProQuest, and JSTOR. Later in this module, you'll also find a PDF titled Tips on the Literature Search. This is a PDF or a resource that I created to help students find relevant and scholarly articles using these three databases. I also offer tips on how to use Google Scholar, another database that is public and free. So I'd like to give you a couple more tips on how to create search terms in your literature search. When creating your search phrases, you should ask yourself, what do you need to know about your topic? So for the topic that you've been studying this semester, what do you need to know in order to study it and in order to write about it? For example, if my question was, how do women make choices about commuting in large cities? So thinking about this topic, first, I would need to find background information. So I came up with the search term, commuting in large cities. Even though it's not specifically about women, I will be expected to know this stuff. Then I have the obvious search phrase, women in transportation. So I'll find authors who have published similar research using this search phrase. Lastly, I also suggest doing something that we call going fishing. So it sounds like the opposite of what my research is about, commuting in small cities. However, I might find something interesting here that could apply to my study. The most helpful thing you can have when conducting a literature review is to find that one really relevant article that connects completely to your topic, but also that references other relevant articles. So using that article, you can use that article as a source to find additional scholarly works. So this is what we call the citation trail. So first, take a look at its reference list. An article on your topic will likely cite a number of other works that are also very relevant to your topic. So review their reference list and search for any articles or books in the library online database or in the library stacks. You can also use Google Scholar. So Google Scholar offers a cited by as well as this citation list. So here's a screenshot of Google Scholar showing results from the search for women in transportation. So the first one seems pretty relevant. Underneath the title, you'll find a link called Cited By, followed by some numbers. If you click on that, you'll find a list of sources who cited or referred to this original article. So the higher the number, the more established and influential the work is. So this is a great resource to use when you're working on your literature review. You can use both the reference list as well as cited by. Keep in mind that some online databases such as Academic Search Complete might also offer this option of cited by. Now that you've found a list of articles, how to read and take notes efficiently. You've already reviewed the literature by identifying relevant articles and books, and you will likely have uncovered a vast number of articles. So it's unrealistic to read all of them to see if they relate, so you need to be able to quickly determine if you should use the article. The best way to do this is to review the title and read the abstract carefully. This will save you a lot of time. You should also keep a record of reference so that you can find the article again. Nowadays, most databases allow you to create an account to save the articles. Personally, I download the articles to a specific folder on my computer for literature. You'll also want to evaluate the credibility of each reference. Mainly, you want to ask if the article appears in a peer-reviewed journal. So in the tips handout included in this module, I explain how to ensure that the articles you're looking for will be peer-reviewed. Lastly, you want to ask how the study contributed to the research on your topic. So we'll go over this in the next slide, since this is what's due for this week's assignment. Here I describe how to take notes to determine how the study contributed to research on your topic. The textbook chapter offers a matrix that I reproduce here, which is useful for compiling and comparing a number of studies. Looking at this table, you see that the studies are listed in the columns, and the different questions that you should ask about the work are listed in the rows, such as the research question, the author's argument or hypothesis for that research question, the methods that they used, the results and findings, and their conclusion. You likely won't use all of this information in a literature review, but it's still important to collect and answer these questions. As you do this, you might find it useful to review box 14.1 in the textbook chapter. So it offers additional questions to consider as you read your articles. This is useful for this semester's class, but any semester's class that you have in the future, especially as you get into the upper level sociology courses. So this is the end of the presentation. In the next one, I'll review how to write a proposal for your final exam.